What is up guys, welcome back to the channel, and as we are closing in on the last few days of this month, it is time for us to check out another episode of top 10 brand new completely free to play games you can play right now during the month of September. From action games to first person shooter games, casual games, RPG games, there are so many games to check out, and of course all of these games are 100% free to play. You can simply go ahead and download all of them from Steam. So without wasting any more time, let's jump straight into our number 10. I'm starting with this brand new game called Honourable. It's a top-down action-adventure game where you play as this treasure hunter stuck inside these catacombs. And you also got that unique ability to sever your soul from your body. And the trick is, your spectral soul can dash through these traps and hit enemies, but your body is left in a vulnerable state. So you gotta balance that attacking as a soul while protecting or repositioning your body. It's a unique gameplay twist that I haven't seen in any other game. And the general gameplay, the typical visual style and everything, remind me of a lot of Hades, and I'm personally a big fan of that. Gameplay wise, it's a top-down isometric dungeon crawler with puzzles and some action elements. You will dart around avoiding traps, solving puzzles and clear rooms while juggling basically two essential characters, your body and your soul. It's very much an indie experimental style of a game with a nice visual style and a cool mechanics. The game literally just came out on Steam, and in terms of reviews right now it's sitting on very positive. Definitely give it a try if this is your style of games. Alright, moving on to our next game, we got Mind Loop. It does look like a pretty simple little puzzle game to try out, but it's actually quite challenging and also quite addictive at the same time. So basically in this game, you get these super intense 40-second runs where you have to observe the scene, pick up clues, solve little mini puzzles, stuff like math, logic, cipher and pattern, then somehow figure out the multi-digit code to defuse the bomb. Each run feels like a quick sprint, and you learn a bit each time and use that to get better in the next go. It looks very simple, minimalistic, but it's a very cleverly made game. It's definitely worth jumping into, especially if you like this style of a quick puzzle games, and it's very easy to run even if you have a very potato PC or laptop. You simply don't have to worry about the system requirements. If you're a fan of classic retro style shooter games, next up we got an awesome brand new game called Unchained. It's an arena style shooter where you hop into multiplayer matches up to 10 players. You pick from a handful of characters, grab weapons, maybe some power-ups, and then just go crazy trying to outgun your opponents. It's really fun to play around with. There is movement, reflexes, and positioning. Nothing too fancy or groundbreaking, but it scratches that old school retro style vibe very nicely. There's no big story or deep narrative or anything like that. It's purely about multiplayer. Right now the game is sitting on very positive reviews on Steam, but it's not the most popular game on our today's list at the moment, so finding online matches can be somewhat difficult. But all in all, if you're into arena style retro shooters and want something more light, fun and free to play, this one is definitely worth take a look. Next up we got Watertide, a single player short first person horror / puzzle game. It's a very short experience, will take you around 30 minutes, maybe an hour to complete. The core gameplay is about restoring failing systems like power, life support, navigation, while you're navigating through these cramped, semi-flooded corridors. It's pretty dark, intense. It leans heavily into the atmosphere rather than action. There's a pretty interesting backstory in the game. You're playing as this character called Morgan, and he has a personal obsession with Titanic and now goes into the deep undersea to try to uncover things, but as you go, weird things happen and you realize you might not be alone. It's not jump scares all the time, it's more like a psychological dread, I would say. All in all, if you like short horror experiences, atmospheric puzzles and exploring this creepy sub-environment, it's a cool single player game to try out right now, and also having very positive reviews on Steam. If you're into MMO style action RPG games, we got a brand new game just came out on Steam, and it is called Blade and Soul Heroes. Alright, this game mixes two pretty different combat style. You can switch between turn-based strategy and real-time action depending on how you like to fight. You build a squad of 5 heroes, and there are more than 40 plus to unlock, and manage them in both tactical setups and in more like go in and smash kind of moments. Visually the game looks very colorful, pretty landscapes, mystical places, and the fantasy plus martial art kind of flair. The game wants it to feel both strategic and action-packed. Sometimes it's juggling both, maybe not always nail both perfectly. The initial release on Steam wasn't that positive in terms of reviews. Right now it's sitting on mixed category, so things feel a bit rough around the edges. And since the game is free to play, there will be some monetization elements, something you have to keep in mind. But the good thing is that the game is also available on mobile, so it does support cross-play and cross-platform progression, so worth jumping into if you're a fan of MMORPG style of games. Once in a while, this style of hilarious game popped out on Steam and they're incredibly fun to play. So this is a brand new game called Rage Quit. This one is a single player action smash him kind of experience. You play in first person wielding only a sledgehammer, no guns, no fancy power-ups. You use that hammer to fight off waves of office bots, smash props, throw things, break walls. The movement, combat and traversal all tied together. You got light swing, heavy swing, dashes, reflections, everything flows just perfectly. Story-wise, it's super minimal, so you're actually the last human working inside this 90s office tower full of bots doing mundane office tasks, but they ultimately kick you out after 27 years of work, so you got angry and you try to smash everything up. Honestly, there's nothing much to it in terms of story, but it's so fun, so hilarious, and so much satisfying to just smash everything up. The game also got that roll-like element. Whenever you die, you start from the beginning. It's a very short, punchy action experience. It's not trying to be a huge game or deep narrative, but if you want something to just jump in, smash things, see how far you can get, it's a fun little single player game you can try out right now on Steam for absolutely free. Next up, we got the Patrikios, a cute indie developed volleyball style game where you control a single player on the court, doing spikes, open attacks, tempo plays, etc. It's basically a 3v3 sports style action game, but the gameplay is very much goes towards the casual side, but with enough nonce to feel satisfying. It's not just about mindless button smashing. In fact, you control just one player, give it a more intimate feeling that you're part of the match. That also means you can team up with two of your friends to play split screen co-op, which is always a welcome addition. As for story, there are some narrative wrapped around volleyball. You follow a character named Sivo and you watch him grow both on sports and personally, and meeting some attractive, interesting characters along the way. It's not a heavy novel, but it gives some context and flavor between matches. And right now the game is doing pretty well on Steam in terms of Steam reviews. Right now it's sitting on very positive reviews, having more than 260 plus of them, and also a super easy game to run even if you have a low-end system. Alright, moving on to another brand new game that is incredibly popular right now on Steam, and that is Warborn Above Ashes. This one is actually kind of wild. It's a free-to-play MMO that throws you into this non-stop real-time PvP skirmish, and at the time of recording this video, the game is having more than 11,000 concurrent players on Steam, which is absolutely insane. But compared to some of the other MMO style games, in this game you don't really get a story campaign or quest line that hold your hand. Basically no story quests, no grinding, you just hop on in and fight. Gameplay-wise, you become something called Driftmaster, able to ride huge beasts, command war machines and lead war bands. Battles can scale from small 1v1 to full-blown huge fights with dozens or even hundreds of players. The idea is rule-free warfare. Basically you pick your build, gear, gadgets, mix and match and simply react on the fly. Because there is no structured narrative, the game is more about chaotic engagements, surprise fights and some community interaction. It feels kinda raw, unpredictable, and every match could throw crazy stuff at you. Some people love this style of games, others might miss that quest clear storyline, but all in all it seems like a very interesting sandbox style of experience, especially if you're someone who loves playing MMO games. Alright, moving on to number 2, we got Arena Breakout Infinite, one of the most anticipated free-to-play first-person shooters to come out on Steam, and not to anyone's surprise, the game is having more than 50,000 plus people playing at the moment. Alright, this one is a first-person hardcore extraction shooter where you suit up, drop into these several maps and try to fight or sneak your way through, loot gear and then extract alive if you can. It's very intense, risky, and every match feel like it could go sideways and you lose what you bring out. The gunplay, the weapon customization, and the mix of PvP and PvE element is absolutely incredible. It's very much feel like Escape from Tarkov, but completely free to play with more accessible features. And compared to Escape from Tarkov, this one got smaller maps, faster pace, but with same extract or die mindset. It's not for the casuals or arcades. The visuals, sounds and the environmental effects adds a lot to the immersion. The monetization aspect is something not people positively talk during the early access stage, but with this new Steam release, the devs have removed some of the pay-to-win elements in the game, and people in the Steam discussion says items you could buy are no longer purchasable with real money, but however others point out before you could spend real money for an advantage like keeping your loot or getting extra storage, stuff like that, and there's still a discussion whether some of them remain in the game. But all in all, it seems like monetization shift toward this cosmetics and convenience stuff, which is definitely in the right direction. All in all guys, if you're looking for a hardcore first-person shooter with tension, risk and reward and want something more accessible than Tarkov, this one is definitely worth try out. I still haven't got the time to fully jump into this new Steam version, but this is something I'm definitely gonna play in the long run. Alright, before moving on to the number 1 spot, I want to mention 3 awesome free games that just came out and I feel like it's worth mentioning. First off, we got Xmod, a free-to-play, kind of mid-phase multiplayer first-person shooter with modes like Team Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, and bunch of other casual modes. It looks very simple and also fun to play. We also got Deep Snake, another fun little single-player action arcade game. And finally, we got Hard Drivers, an arcade racing game full of futuristic gravity-bending tracks. You can do customization and blast your way through these circuits with power-ups. Guys, we finally got a long-awaited sequel to a very popular game series with the launch of this brand new game called Skate. It is hands down one of the most anticipated games to come out in 2025, and if you're familiar with the Skate series, there was so much hype behind the game, and at the moment the game is having close to like 100,000 daily concurrent players on Steam. The gameplay leans heavily into this realistic physics-based skateboarding, but this time with a much more freedom with an open world style setting. And they use this new flicky trick system, so pulling off tricks feels more like finesse and timing than smashing buttons. You also can hop off the board too. You can climb, explore the world on foot, which is pretty cool and gives a bit more freedom to roam and discover some hidden spot in the world. There is also a system to drop ramps, rails, or create challenges, so you not feel like doing the same stuff over and over again. There is also a big open world hub kind of area, so you can interact with other players online. The game is not perfect by any means, it's still on early access and it's free to play in the early access, which lower the barriers to enter. I personally someone who not really into this style of sport games. I do like stuff like soccer, but skateboarding, well, it's not my jam. But obviously the Steam concurrent player count says otherwise. If you like this style of skate games, open world settings, messing around in sandbox with other players, this one is definitely one of the best free-to-play games to jump in 2025. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. These are 10 of the best completely free-to-play brand new games you can jump in right now in September 2025. And let me know down in the comment section which one are you downloading first, or if I missed any hidden gems you think deserve a shout out, definitely let me know down in the comment section as well. As always, guys, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and stay tuned for more free-to-play game coverage like this. I'll catch you guys soon in the next one. Stay safe.